Welcome back to the podcast. Today, I want to talk about a thought that's been following me around for a while now. It's simple, but it's become incredibly powerful. I want to see what happens if I don't quit. I'm recording this from home in Edinburgh, and honestly, I'm feeling optimistic. Not because everything is perfect, not because life has suddenly become easy. I'm optimistic because I feel like I've reached a point where I'm starting to understand something important. For years, I've looked for shortcuts, quick wins, and moments of motivation. I've waited for the perfect time to take action. I've waited for confidence before making decisions. I've waited for certainty before committing. But lately, I've started wondering if the answer isn't any of those things. Maybe the answer is simply staying in the game. Maybe success belongs to the people who keep showing up long after everyone else has walked away. The biggest challenge I'm facing right now is discipline. It's probably the thing that's been on my mind more than anything else this week. I spend a lot of time thinking about how I can become a better version of myself. Not perfect, just better than I was yesterday. The strange thing is that most of us already know what we should be doing. We know we should exercise. We know we should work on our goals. We know we should spend less time distracted and more time focused. The problem isn't information. The problem is consistency. I've realized that discipline isn't about having a perfect day. It's not about never making mistakes. It's about continuing after the mistakes happen. It's about showing up when motivation disappears, because motivation comes and goes. Some mornings I wake up excited, some mornings I don't, but my goals don't disappear just because I don't feel like working on them. One thing I've noticed about myself is that I spend a lot of time thinking about the future. I think about where I want to be in 5 years. I think about the life I'm trying to build. I'm thinking about the person I want to become. Sometimes that's helpful. Other times it becomes overwhelming. When the gap between where I am and where I want to be feels too big, doubt starts creeping in. And that's when I start questioning things. Am I moving fast enough? Am I doing enough? Am I wasting my time? The truth is, I don't always have answers to those questions. But recently I've realized something. The future isn't built by worrying about 5 years from now. It's built by what I do today. One workout, one book chapter, one piece of work, one difficult conversation, one decision. Maybe progress isn't about giant leaps. Maybe it's about stacking enough ordinary days together that they eventually become extraordinary. This is where the title of today's episode comes from. I want to see what happens if I don't quit. Not next week, not next month, but years from now. I generally don't know what happens if I stay committed long enough. I've never met the future version of myself. I don't know what opportunities are waiting ahead. I don't know what skills I'll develop. I don't know what relationships I'll build. I don't know what success looks like. But I do know one thing. If I quit, I never find out. That's become a powerful thought for me. I don't want to spend the rest of my life wondering what might have happened. What if the breakthrough is closer than I think? What if the person I want to become is being built right now? What if all that's required is more patience than I've shown before? Those questions keep me moving forward even when the progress feels slow. Looking back, the biggest lessons in my life didn't come from success. They came from struggle. They came from mistakes. They came from periods where I wasn't sure what I was doing. I've learned that growth usually feels messy while it's happening. I've learned that confidence often comes after action, not before it. I've learned that discipline matters far more than motivation. Most importantly, I've learned that meaningful change takes longer than people accept. We live in a world that celebrates overnight success, but most real success isn't overnight at all. It's months, years, sometimes even decades. It's built quietly. That's why I've stopped asking how quickly things are happening. Instead, I'm asking whether I'm still moving, because slow progress is still progress. And if I keep moving long enough, eventually I'll arrive somewhere completely different from where I started. One thing that excites me right now is the end goal, not because I know exactly what it looks like, but because I know I'm heading somewhere. There's something powerful about having a direction, even when the destination isn't perfectly clear. For a long time, I thought goals were the reward. Now I'm not so sure. I think the bigger reward might be the person I become while pursuing them, the habits I build, the discipline I develop, the resilience I gain. Those things stay with me long after any goal is achieved. I don't know exactly what my future looks like. I still have doubts. I still have questions. I still have days where things feel difficult, but I think that's normal. Life isn't supposed to come with guarantees. Maybe uncertainty isn't something to fear. Maybe uncertainty is proof that there's more of the story left to write. If there's one thing I want people to remember from today's episode, it's this: don't quit. That's it. Not because success is guaranteed, not because everything will work out exactly as planned, not because life suddenly becomes easy. Don't quit because you don't know what's possible yet. You don't know who you could become. You don't know what opportunities are waiting. You don't know what the next chapter holds, and neither do I. And that's why I'm still here. That's why I'm still trying. That's why I'm still learning. That's why I'm still pushing forward. I'm not claiming to have all the answers. I'm not pretending I've figured life out. I'm simply curious. I want to see what happens if I don't quit. And maybe that's enough. Maybe that's all any of us really need. Just enough belief to take the next step, and then the next one after that. Thanks for listening.